These cake cards are so fun to make, really simple, super quick. Hello everyone, welcome to sunnydaystamping.com. I'm Julie Baca. Got a really simple card today. It's so much fun just to stamp, and that is what we're gonna do. This is a really fun set to use, but this layout that I'm gonna show you, you're gonna be able to use with like any of your stamp sets. For all the measurements, head on over to the blog post. I share them all over there. So let's get started. This card has that main focal point, which you're going to be able to put any stamp in there. I'm going to be using Cake Celebrations. This is such a fun stamp set because I love cake, but also because you can just build up your cakes to be any height, any either the wide width or the narrow width, mix them together. They've got embellishments to go with it that I'm going to show you how to use some of these. Oh, and these little candles. We're going to be making 2 cards together, but I've got 5 to show you, all using this gorgeous color palette. So we're going to start by stamping the little cake stand right on the bottom. Now for all the cards that I used, whatever color I used for the cake stand is the color I'm going to use for that accent strip. So I'm going to pull this color to the accent strip. So the card we're making, this is going to be pretty in pink. Now to stamp the actual cake, go ahead and grab yourself a scrap piece of paper because I'm going to show you how to make the cake with only the one color of ink. So we're going to stamp off and then stamp on here. That's going to give us this nice chocolate color, but also allow us to stamp it in full strength later for the frosting. Now this cake, we're just going to make this 3 tall, but you could like make it really tall if you wanted to. Now we're going to grab this part. It's like an equal sign, ink it up, and this is going to be, oh wait, no, this one's too small. Look, that one is for the narrow cake. So you get 3 pieces to build a cake, large or small. So I'm gonna get the large filling, and we're gonna fill this thing with some wonderful chocolate. We are gonna stamp it full strength. Oh, I didn't hit that quite right, but I think that'll be fine. And then we're gonna stamp it up here again. So it looks like, wow, what in the world is happening? I think I will do this one again. Let's see if I can match it up. That way it looks like this cake is all layered, but we only used this one color of ink. Now we're going to stamp the candles. They've got these 4 thin candles that are different lengths. I love that. And then grab the color that you want to use for that. And when I'm stamping the candles, I'm going to put 1 in the center, and you could leave it just like that, but I wanted like a copious amount of candles on this cake. So I'm going to do 1 on one side and 1 on the other. That way, that's going to help me get those centered up on that cake. All right, check this out. These are the lights for the candles, the fire, which you do not have to use. It looks like it's a marker, like ticked. It's so nice, but it's a stamp. And one of these candles, if you notice, is taller than the other, and so is that candle fire. So is there another name for it? I don't know. And so that's how you're going to match it up. But if you don't match it up like perfectly, it really doesn't matter. It looks great. Now, if you're somebody who watches my channel a lot, or if you just are new to my channel, welcome. But if you could hit that like button, it helps me so much. If you've been watching my channel and haven't subscribed, that also helps me out a ton, and you won't miss out on anything. Now we're going to stamp some leaves right here, and I'm using the soft seafoam for that. Now we're just going to grab our pink again and put a flower next to those leaves. Now this comes with 3 different flowers to pick from, but for this example, I just used the same one, just like to make it really a quick card. So now we're going to go ahead and make another cake for another card. I just wanted to do these side by side so you can see the differences in the way you can do the cakes. So this one is going to be a shorter cake. So when I stamp my cake base, I want to stamp it up a little farther from the bottom. Since this was going to be a tall cake, I stamped it towards the bottom. This one, I'm raising it up a little bit. For this one, we're going to use that wide cake And then we're going to use the narrower one, stamping off so that this is nice light pink. Now, instead of doing that filling, we are going to use this kind of swath of frosting. There's one for the large base and one for the small one. And just kind of, I do one in one corner, one in the other. Actually, I stamped that right in the middle. Looks just fine. I'm gonna go ahead and move that scrap paper. It's kind of distracting. Okay, now instead of candles for this cake, we're gonna make a bouquet of flowers. Maybe this is a wedding cake or a bridal shower cake or something like that. And this has two different leaves, one big and then a small one. We're just gonna put it right down there. Now we're just gonna add a couple of flowers on the top. So I wanted to use this one twice, so I'm going to wipe it off in between colors so it doesn't get my ink pads dirty. This is the Stampin' Scrub. I love that for cleaning my stamps. And then I'm going to pick pink. I'm going to use that same flower. I'm going to bring it down a little bit so it's not like level with that other flower. And now I'm going to grab the medium flower. We're going to stamp that one in blue right here. And then we're going to take the teeny tiny one and just add a little accent of blue over there. Then we're going to drag that same color down to the base and pop it right there. So now we've got a tall, kind of uniformly shaped cake, or one that is more tiered. Now before I put all my colors away, I'm going to stamp my envelope and the inside of my cards for these two cards. Now I've got the envelope and I'm just going to pull that same greeting that was on the inside, celebrate. And then I'm just going to pull one of the flowers and then we'll just throw, whoops, one leaf on there. I like to stamp my sentiment when I'm doing all my other stamping so that I don't send naked envelopes. It really just ties everything together. So I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to make the inside for this card. Now we'll just fill in with a couple of leaves here. Boy, I'm having a hard time on this side, I tell you. I think it needs one more. Oh yeah. Now I'm going to transfer this same design to the back of the envelope. Now for this, I did use the bigger leaf because I figured you could spread it out on an envelope. But I am going to add one smaller leaf right there. All right, there's this beautiful set. I've got a tip to show you, and then we'll put our cards together. So for all of our cards, we're using a basic beige card base, but then we're going to take one of the colors from your cake. And in my case, I chose whatever I used for my cake stand to be my accent strip, and that is going to go right here. Now for all of the measurements for this project and all my projects, go to sunnydaystamping.com. My email subscribers, I email this out on Friday morning and it's free for that first week. And then it goes to my tutorial store. So if you're not on my list, go ahead and get on there. I have all the measurements here, some written instructions. Just makes it so easy to craft when you have this sitting right next to you. So we're going to do two things to make this card look really interesting, even though it's been such a quick card. So this accent strip, we're going to rotate it and we're going to stamp on it. We don't normally stamp like vertical with the words like this, so that's going to catch people's attention. And we're going to stamp lining it up with this edge of the stamp. This edge of the paper. You want to line your greeting up with that edge of the paper, just like that. Now you can be done and stick that right in there, but I'm going to show you how to just add some texture to this without a machine. So in this stamp set, along with all the other little things that you can use, there's this splotchy splatter stamp. This is such a valuable stamp because you can create texture with just a stamp. So if you are new to stamping and crafting and don't have all the supplies and everything, but you like that look of an embossing, try this. So you're going to stamp off and then stamp on your paper. You could also stamp directly on there if you wanted it to be a little darker, but I want this to be subtle because I want that cake to really stand out. Plus all my colors are really kind of soft and muted, so I don't want this sticking out. So that's just going to give a little bit, oh, focus there, just a little bit of texture on there. It's also very subtle because I'm using the same color of cardstock, pretty in pink. I'm using that same color of ink. It matches perfectly, and it'll give you that subtle look that you're looking for. So now we're ready to glue all this together. Use your bone folder to make a nice crease in your card base. And now we're just going to put glue on the back of this cardstock accent strip. If the glue will come out, if your glue gets clogged, kind of just pinch the top of it and roll that dried glue out to get your glue to come out. Whoa, but then don't squeeze it as hard as I did. Oh no, this might go everywhere. So now if this is the folded edge of your card base, we're going to glue this accent strip 1/4 of an inch in, just so you can still see that card base on that one side. Now you can glue this directly on here if you don't have that many supplies. If you want, we're going to layer it onto a piece of early espresso. I've got the measurement for that on that project sheet or over on my website. And I've got the links for those in the description of the video. Now you can also just glue this right on here, but to step it up a little bit, I'm going to add Stampin' Dimensionals. This is just going to pop this up a little bit, just make it look interesting, even though all we did was stamp this card and it was so fast. Then take off the backings. If you have fingernails, you can take these off. I like to use my take your pick tool. And then we're just going to put that right here. You're just kind of lining it up with the sentiment on this side. It's not going to be in the center of your card, but that looks pretty cool. Now for the inside, let me just show you what this looks like. You can glue it directly in there and that looks beautiful. But if you want, you can layer it, pull this same color from the front of your card to the inside of your card, just to make it kind of go all together, although it looked great without it. So if you're short on supplies, you don't need to do this part. And that is it. Isn't that a gorgeous, matching, beautiful birthday card? Let me show you the other examples. Now here's the other card that we stamped. I put it all together. Here's one in blue, and let me give you a tip about this cake. I used the lemon lolly for the accent, but the base of this, which gives it kind of that vanilla look, is peach pie stamped off. So let me put it next to the envelope so you can kind of see it's just a perfect color for that, but then use the lemon lolly for the accent. There were these little bursts in that stamp set that make a perfect birthday fireworks. This one is using that peach pie stamped off with the lemon lolly, and then there is the inside. This one I thought was so festive. I mean, this would be great for even a guy's birthday card. Those colors are so fun. I put out a new video every Friday, so don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button with the bell so you get notified. Thank you so much for watching. Have a sunny day.